All right, guys, welcome into another episode of the Show We Go Baseball podcast. Dipping into the Arizona Diamondbacks today. Might be our first D-back of the offseason, if I can remember correctly, but we have Will Mabrey on today. And if you are not familiar with Will, he spent this past season over in Amarillo, Texas, down in AA for them. And I do have a few questions about that, Will, but I know that you're, down at the complex early right now, and I just kind of want to ask, how's the offseason been treating you so far?
Man, it's been awesome. Navigating a lot of new things. Started up a remote business. I think that's pretty cool of me to start doing to really help out, giving back to people. I think that's pretty neat. But really been getting after it and moving wise, learning how to move better. I think one of the biggest things I've been shout out Maven Baseball Lab in Atlanta, Georgia. They helped me get kind of acclimated and understand what I need to do with my body to move better. And so I've kind of realized my hip shoulder separation was very, very, very low. And so I started to learn how to actually do that and incorporate to move better my mechanics, on the mound and stuff. So I've really been doing a lot of stuff to getting better there. So it's been good. It's definitely been good.
This is the second episode in a row I've actually had a Maven shout out. I had Bradley Blaylock on
Oh,
the
really?
show just yesterday, and he
That's
was
funny.
talking about
I
how
didn't meet him though.
okay, he's
That's
down
weird.
there. He's a Georgia guy,
Okay.
but he was shouting them out like crazy. Him, and I know we have another guy, Conrad Kaysen, that's over there quite a bit.
Oh
That
yeah.
place is doing wonders down there. So
No, they are. They are. And I don't know what time those guys go in. I was with a lot like Keyshawn Askew. He's double A with the Montgomery Biscuits, which is the Rays. I mean, Dylan Lesko, Mark McLaughlin, Ben Joyce, the guys. CJ Abrams, Tim Anderson, those guys are hitting. It's awesome. They're getting after it. They're getting good work in, and it's good to see that. So it's good to be around those people in that environment.
oh yeah, that whole neck of the woods down there in Georgia, man, they have
It's good.
so many guys, and there's a
Oh,
lot
I
of
know. It's
places that
amazing.
it's crazy.
It was
Um, I
awesome.
yeah, I am gonna show some love though to some Tennessee boys later on in the show if we stick
Sweet.
around for
Okay.
it.
Sick.
But I got to ask you about some boring stuff first. I got to ask about the baseball on the field things. Obviously, looking back at your 2024 season, you were up in Double A. I know you had a small taste of it at the end of 2023, but looking back on your year, I guess on the field, what are some of your takeaways you had from this year in Amarillo?
Oh gosh. I mean, I learned a lot for sure. I learned that you're not always going to have, I mean, obviously I should have learned this a long time ago, but you're not always going to have your best stuff every outing. I think you go out there and you're relying on what you have and how your body feels, and you have to adapt in that moment. So for me, the beginning of the half, my slider was like a dominant wipeout pitch for me, and then I kind of lost it a little bit because I started throwing more pitches. And then you have to navigate how to find those cues again and how to develop that again. So this off season, I was been focusing on development of the proper spin of my slider again, getting those things back in order. So looking back in the last year, though, all my teammates, great people to be around. It was a great environment. Shout out all the, Tom Gorzolani, Tim Bogar, all the staff, Sledge, Ronnie, literally everybody. I mean, Connor, PT, Todd, the video guy. Those guys are everyone in the D-backs org is there to help you get better. So I really respect that out of the org, and I love how like helpful they are in your minor league career. So
You also had quite a bit of success on the mound as well. I know, like I touched on it, you had a very, very small sample size at the end of 2023, and you ended up, your strikeout numbers were fine and everything would look pretty okay. So it's like, what kind of challenges did you have once you did get up there and you were kind of facing, the better competition in Double A? And I guess what kind of things did
yeah,
you have to overcome?
I think everything in this game's on momentum, right? So that first year I climbed 3 levels. I think I was on top of the world. Momentum was climbing in my favor. I was just playing baseball and having fun. I think going into last year, you can look into some stuff sometimes and look into the business side of baseball and movement and, think I'm knocking on the door or whatever. And then you're really like so far away. And then sometimes you can get complacent in this game, but you got to stay hungry because everyone else is still hungry, right? But I think when it comes to like the strikeout numbers and success, I mean, it really is a different ball game at that level. I think people have a lot of different approaches. I think, um, the minute, like, obviously sometimes in different in A ball, you can tell some people are different in competition level, but throughout the board and double and up, it's competitive. It's all get out. It's full force at all times. I mean, it's an amazing, fun baseball experience, but you're gonna have to learn how to pitch there. Like if you make mistakes and you throw those pitches in the wrong spot, I mean, they're gonna expose you a lot of the time. It's the same with the big leagues. I mean, I had great people like Matt Beatty that was on our team. You know, he's a Los Angeles Dodgers legend. I mean, he's an awesome guy. He's an awesome big leaguer, a great person to be around. Just had a newborn and stuff, but he's an awesome dude to listen to. I mean, he had a lot of advice on how the game could be very similar, comparable, and how you got a lot of guys in Double A with amazing stuff, but don't always know where it's going sometimes, and then that correlates to the big leagues. Big leagues is like they're polished, they're ready to go. It's unreal. So everything that we're doing is getting us prepared for that, and I think Double A was definitely the biggest challenge I saw for sure.
I just took a peek at something as well, and I was curious about something. 'Cause obviously, you didn't start any games this year, and
Right.
I was kind of looking back, and I'm just like, you haven't really started that many games. Like even at Tennessee, I don't think it didn't show that you started any games.
No, I'm not a starter at all.
So has that always been a thing? Like, did you start in high school, like, or was it
Yeah.
always like out of the bullpen for you?
Uh, So I didn't even actually in high school. I only played 3 years. I didn't make my high school JV team or baseball team, which is pretty crazy.
Wow.
It's kind of
Yeah.
cool story. Um, I started that sophomore year because I went to a random camp in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and went with my dad. I took a baseball for a whole year. My dad drove us up like 10 and a half hours away. I threw at 85 randomly from the left side and got put on whatever. Come high school, I become a starter. Okay, I went like 7-0 my senior year. Had a great ERA. You know, headed off. I'm sure you're gonna ask me about colleges and all that stuff later, but headed off to Tennessee, and then they were like, "We think you're gonna be fit out of the bullpen." I think what's even crazier is the D-backs actually wanted me as a starter, and then met me and who I was, and was like, "Yeah, you're gonna work out of the bullpen." So that's how I kind of ended up in this role.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's always so interesting because I feel like, you obviously see so many guys that are out of the bullpen. It's like they were a starter at one point in their career, maybe like
yeah,
early in college, and then they
oh
made the
yeah,
switch or whatever it was. So,
yeah, for sure.
uh, but you've been doing what you've been doing now for the last, like, however many years since you got to Tennessee. So,
Yeah.
I had one more boring baseball question here, and
No,
I
you're
do want to
ask them. I
ask
love it
you.
all. Yeah.
Okay, I do want to ask you about the Tennessee stuff and everything because I'm a fellow SEC guy as well, so we'll have
Oh,
some
nice.
fun with
Where'd you
that
go?
one. University of Missouri.
Okay. I got some Missouri guys. Seth
Okay,
Allison. He's a Rocky.
there, there we
Did
go.
you interview him?
No, I have not,
You got to
but
get him.
I thought you were going to be an all-time hate job on Missouri since we're not
No, no, no,
technically
no. Joshua
SEC.
Day's my guy too. Josh Day. You know Josh Day.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
He's an awesome
Okay.
dude.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that here. I do want to ask you though. Obviously, we're heading. You're already down at the complex. Spring training is less than a month away. Think for pitchers and catchers, your report date might be right around a month.
16th, I think. So almost a month away.
Okay. So obviously, now that you've had your feet wet in Double A, and you're kind of you're only 2 calls away from the majors at this point. So, what kind of things are you looking forward to? I would say that this spring training for you might be one of your more important spring trainings, just because you're getting a lot closer to the big league level. So, what kind of things are you looking forward to in this upcoming spring training?
For this upcoming spring training, my main focus is getting fully strong and healthy to be where I want to be from this offseason. Well, obviously, I'm still in offseason mode, so I'm training and throwing and getting stronger every day. But I'm not focused on doing anything too extra. Right? I don't want to look into it that importance and kind of going back to that. Thinking about it this year is like so important for me. I just get to play a cool game and play baseball, and I don't really put. I need to stop putting such a times table on things and such an importance on certain things, because at the end of the day, it's just a game, and I have the this game's awesome, and I'm glad I get to play it at the level I do, and I do put in all the effort I can. But whatever happens is going to happen. Do I have just Plan A? Yeah, right. I have Plan A, which is I'm going to be a big leaguer. Don't have a Plan B, but I don't know when that's going to be. Right. So I just got to throw my baseballs and do what I can do. So my main focus is being strong, staying healthy, getting my arm care in, being a good teammate. I mean, there's nothing really else I can focus on.
Honestly, I love that outlook. It's something that I don't know. I wish I heard that more often, but you seem like a very happy guy, which is like, I feel like a lot of guys that are kind of going through the grind of minor league baseball.
Yeah,
It's tough sometimes, man. Especially like
sure.
just how big of a grind it is. But it seems like you take it in stride, and I kind of like that.
I
So
mean, definitely think I'm happy, but there's times where I'm not happy. But you got to let those emotions out for sure. I think you got to have someone to talk to about that. I mean, I have my teammates I can be emotional with and open up to, and you got therapy, whatever. But it's good. It's important to take care of your mental health. I mean, what we do is
so
definitely a
important.
grind. We don't make a crap ton of money, and we have girlfriends and family that we love and care about, and we're out here, so it's definitely difficult. But just stay optimistic about it. I mean, I'm 24 years old. I'm young. I can be risky. I can take adventures. I can do whatever I want to do. And there's no limitations. So you should be happy every day. You know what I'm saying?
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's contagious too. I like it. I'm almost feeling more positive over here just because
Oh,
of
good.
it.
That's
So,
sick. Well, I
um,
mean, I just think it goes with anyone, right? You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want.
I love it, man. All right, I'm shooting to some fun stuff that I don't think that I could really find. A lot of the stuff I just ask you, I think I can Google it and kind of
Uh,
find a
I
lot of that
briefly
stuff.
read the topics, but I kind of wanted to be surprised because that's like better. It's almost better that way.
I usually don't like topics. I like shooting from the hip, right? Where I'm like,
Okay.
hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got
For
stuff
sure.
that I like asking anyway. So I only just kind of look at it, but I'm just like,
All right.
no,
Cool.
I have stuff I want to ask this guy.
Cool.
So we showed some love earlier in this episode to the Atlanta area, obviously, and you were talking about Maven and stuff like that. But I want to show some love to where you grew up. You are a Tennessee boy, and
Okay.
I kind of want to know. You don't really hear you hear some, but you don't hear a ton of love about the baseball scene in Tennessee. You hear about it in Georgia and Texas and California and all those. But what was it like growing
Yeah.
up and playing baseball in Tennessee?
You know, more of just get your glove, go out there, whatever clothes you have on, and play. Right? I didn't. I had a lot of good coaching from my father and his one of his best friends, David Hammonds, when I was young. A lot of other coaches too throughout my life, but those people developed strong fundamentals in my baseball career by looking at people that were playing whenever my dad was 35, 40 years old, 45 years old. So he's put those into me, and then those mechanics stuck with me, and I just always preached proper mechanics and throwing drills. And I wish it was better in Cookeville, the baseball route. There's only one facility now. It's 931 Elite, which I'm kind of partnered with now. But I think I'm glad of those people in my life. I don't really there wasn't much, like, it was more in my area. It's just about play baseball. There's rec leagues still, a bunch of rec leagues. Like, I went home for this offseason, and my cousin, who doesn't play like that level, he just works for like Rogers Group Construction, is coaching a recreational league at 18 years old, and he can actually play because he's an assistant coach. He wore his jeans in the game the other night, and I went and watched this game in a base. Like, I just got done playing professional Double A baseball, and I come back and visit my family, and they're at a rec field coaching 17-year-old kids, and it was really bad. It was really bad, but it's like, they're having fun. It's whatever. But that's the kind of place I grew up in, so I had to go out and find the travel experience to get that competition. My high school level baseball, state champs now. Shout out Upperman High School. Um, it's more of a it's developing now, but still, when I was in high school, it was like we didn't have all that equipment. We didn't have all that. We all had our own stuff, and we showed up and played baseball and did it the right way, and that was it. Anything else was on me. So
So your road led to a very, very, very good SEC baseball program. Obviously, not too far down the road from you there in Knoxville. But how did Tennessee find you, and how did you find Tennessee?
it's kind of crazy. I was working at a Whistle Stop, which is a pizzeria in Baxter, Tennessee. But prior
Okay.
to this, I was in PBR, which is Professional Baseball Report or whatever, in Perfect Game stuff. I was doing that on the side, like, just me and my dad were investing going to it. I got an invite to a PBR Tennessee versus Kentucky event, and I threw and I hit like 87, had a good curveball. And then I got a call when I was at work from Tennessee, Coach Josh Elander, and they wanted me to come to a camp, come experience stuff. And prior to that camp, I went to Walter State, which is JUCO in Tennessee. And this is when I was a senior, so I was looking at stuff, right? Because I didn't commit until the fall of my senior year, the right going into my senior year. So um, it's pretty cool experience. But that's when they wanted me to come out there and visit the place and throw at a camp there. And I struck out like everyone at their camp, and then they wanted me to like walk on. And then my dad wanted me to go to Carson Newman. It was a whole story. Really, my dad wanted me to go to Carson Newman, and just because of how small it was comparable to my high school. I would have had a better, more private college experience, I guess, which is, and it's a great program. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted more, right? I wanted the most competition ever. And I think that was pretty cool going from a dominating in high school to being a small fish in a huge pond, having to fight my way to be a freshman guy. And it was fun. And that's where I learned how to compete, really, was college. You don't really learn how to compete when you're, you know, dominating in high school the way that you are in districts. And the level was just astronomically different when it was just a jump. It was even travel ball. I had a lot of success, but it was definitely, I could tell I was, you know, needed more and I wanted more. So there I am.
And so obviously we talked earlier, and, I'm also an SEC guy, so I have a little bias towards the
Yeah.
conference, but I'm always under the assumption when I see guys get drafted out of the SEC schools, I'm like, okay, those guys have been through the gauntlet of SEC play, especially pitchers. You guys are facing lineups with guys that are top 5 round picks almost every
Oh yeah.
game in SEC
Oh yeah.
play. So what do you think that experience you had pitching at Tennessee prepped you for professional ball?
No doubt. No doubt. Everything we do was year round at Tennessee. I mean, summer you're going out and playing summer ball, college summer ball, right? So you don't get that break. That's a pro ball experience itself. Then you come back in the fall and you got to be conditioned to be ready to go because we're going straight at it right when it starts. Then we got to go come back and we got conditioning tests to pass before you can even practice in the spring. And then it's like bam, 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 and you're like, where's all this time going? Yeah, I mean it preps you because you're putting in all this hard work for baseball, and like if you invest in it, and you can see the guys who invest in it, right? Shout out Coach Vitello, Frank Anderson. I mean, Quentin Eberhard, you name the guys, Richard Jackson. Everyone on that Tennessee staff, my years were there, and the people that are currently there are looking for your best interest as well. And I'm so glad I picked the route that I went. Like genuinely, those people have molded me into the person I am today, and the work ethic I have is because of Quentin Eberhart and Frank Anderson and what they developed with that program. It's actually it's astronomical. Look at the numbers. You can't tell me anyone else that has done something different than that. Tony Vitello is going to be under one of the best head coaches of all time when it comes to flipping a program in general. You can't take someone like that. He did that by himself. By himself. That's it. No one else.
I couldn't say it any better.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee baseball is cream of the crop. Everybody you always used to look at like, the Vanderbilts, some of the
Oh
Texas
no.
schools every now and then
Yeah.
and things like that. But Tennessee, man, can't be slept on these
No.
days.
No, and I wish I met a girl who I'm with now, Rebecca Clark. She's an accountant in downtown Atlanta. We stay together in Atlanta, but the past 2 years I've been in Knoxville, and they've been so welcoming and loving me to have me back there, and it's been awesome. And I wish I got to go. I went to a golf alumni event, which is cool. I saw Crochet and a bunch of other cool guys over there. Um, and it was so good to see all the teammates and stuff. But just so I'm glad that I'm welcome to go back anytime and just be over there and live there and show face. I think that's really cool of them to let us do too. So
Yeah, I was going to ask you this too about, you brought up a guy like Garrett Crochet, but I know I'm familiar with, how Mizzou baseball works, and they have some of their guys like Ian Kinsler and some of the, the alumni that come back and kind of spend some time on campus around the guys that are currently
yeah,
there. Did you guys have anything like that while you were there at Tennessee? Kind of have like, some of the notable alumni come back and kind of get to pick their brain at all?
yeah. Max Scherzer came back, which is crazy. He's not an alumni of Tennessee, but
I would
he
say he's a
actually was
Mizzou
there
guy.
under Mizzou guy under Vitello though. So you're a fan of Vitello
Okay.
clearly, unless you're not because he was there. So I think
Not his fault, man.
that was the coolest dude that's I've ever gotten to meet. That's awesome. But other than, I mean, Crochet would come back, of course. We all go back, to be honest. Literally all of us. Jan Gomes is over there. JP Arancibia. I mean, they all show face, and that's what. Or Luke Hochaver, James Atkins, one of my pitching coaches. I mean, they all show face. Tennessee's like, and you know what's even cooler is like Tony Vitello has made it more of a he's brought it back to life. Like he started this golf event. Like he wants it to be involved. It's not just a hey, I'm this now. This is me. You guys don't matter. No, he wants everyone that ever went through there because he's proud of what he's done, and he's proud of Tennessee for what he's given to Tony Vitello's life, like, and his family. He's so thankful. So he wants to show that support.
I got a question for you, and I don't want you to lie to me on this
All
answer. You
right.
got to make me feel better right now.
Okay.
As it be, I've had a couple SEC guys on here this off season, and
All right.
they've all said this. Where is the worst place to play at in the SEC? And I say worst, I just mean like you hated traveling there.
The travel to Oxford sucked because we had a bus and then we flew back.
Okay,
But I'm not gonna lie to you. The time of year,
I knew this is coming. It's
yeah,
every time.
the time of year that I plan to play at Mizzou and the grayness,
It's
clouds,
fine.
the undeveloped facilities that y'all had, the overran softball field. I'm sorry, man. It takes the worst cake for me.
Oh, it's
But you
fine.
know what? You know what's even second to that is Kentucky. Kentucky sucks. Kentucky's
Okay.
fan base, there was no one there. It was constant rainy, crap, cold, storm, everything, you name it. I can ask, you need to interview Mark McLaughlin. He would give you a funny interview. He's
Okay.
with the White Sox now. He's one of my best friends from Tennessee, but he would probably second those two for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah. You
sorry.
know
Don't
what?
don't hate me. It's just you have to respect my reasoning on that. Like
I
no
do.
one wants to drive through a facilities and see overran old fields. Take care of it, right? I mean, expedite that stuff, right? So, but I'm a
Yep.
fan of Missouri. I'm a fan of the state. I'm a fan of I don't know. I like all states to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. No, I just had to ask. I figured that was coming.
No, you're good.
All right. So I did have one more pre-professional baseball question here.
Okay.
You're like you're probably the fifth or sixth guy I've had on the show this offseason that is a Northwoods League alum, which
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the Northwoods League until this
Shout out
offseason.
Josh Revant.
That place is a grind. That league, those guys are grinding up there
Oh
in the
yeah.
Northwoods League.
The
How was your
YMCA
experience?
memberships we got. We would get YMCA memberships. We play literally every day.
Oh
And
yeah.
the off days are random. So you're just playing every day. And I remember we went to Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. So we went up the Upper Peninsula. So you're literally driving in the middle of the night, 3 a.m, and you're laying, these aren't sleeper buses. So you're just on normal buses. So you're laying on the ground probably. You wake up and you just see miles of pine trees. Like there's nothing out there, right? And it's like, dude, it could be bad. There's polar bear. I don't know what kind of bears there are, but there's something out there.
There's something.
But you get back and it's 7 in the morning. You had a game at 6 at night. You're sleeping till 2, 3, and it's a late show and go. Like it's insane, and you got to be ready to throw. And it's not like pro ball's not that bad. It's somewhat comparable sometimes because we would travel to Corpus Christi, Texas, and get in at 7 in the morning, and have to do our sleep pattern that way. But it's a grind, and you definitely learn and face some good competition. So
Yeah, I've heard so many things, and a lot of guys have told me they're like my experience in the Northwoods League like prepped me for the 6 days a week and
oh
pro
yeah,
ball, and I was able to kind of attack it a lot because, like you said, it's like you guys played every single day. It's not
no
like the
doubt.
Cape League. The Cape League doesn't play every day. It's not like that. So
No, that's more of like a. And I had a chance to go to the Cape, but I didn't go it. I didn't forego it because the draft, but I was going to experience that with the Born Braves.
yeah,
So
it's I mean, obviously the Cape League is, comes as advertised, but man, the Northwoods League, man, I've learned so much about it this offseason. I almost want to go to like just some games up there just to see what it's like.
yeah,
All right. I'm shooting to some things off the field now. This is not going to be anything about baseball here.
yes.
I need to know, and I think I have a good feeling what you're going to tell me here because every pitcher
So
tells me the same thing. What do you like to do in your free time?
so I golf.
That. Yep.
I'm sure you knew that. I play a
All
lot of video
pitchers.
games. I play Marvel Rivals a lot. It's kind of a nerdy game. I don't know, man. To be honest, I golf, hang out with my girlfriend. She's cool.
Okay.
Um, Not much else, to be honest. I started my remote business. It's called Remote with Mabrey. So I have my own website. I have all that stuff. I sell my arm care routines. I do individual FaceTime bullpen sessions, mechanical breakdown analysis. It's pretty neat. So I've been kind of hammering all that stuff, trying to figure that out, and I've got a good 6 to 8 clients. So it's pretty cool.
When did you start that business?
December. So, or
Oh,
yeah,
very
just
new.
like yeah. So I wanted I had clients hitting me up from when I was in Knoxville giving lessons, and I was in Atlanta giving like 2 a week. And then my sister, my nephews have a travel ball team, and some of their kids wanted to work, and I was like, dude, I got kids all over wanting to work with me, so I'm like, I need to. There's a way for me to do this, surely. So I got a written throwing program. I show everything that I do and how to be a pro and how to teach yourself to be that way. And I just kind of went all in on it. And now it's working. So I set up my own little website and I upload videos of myself, what I do, mobility routines, arm care routines, throwing routines, you know, how to take care of your body, how to be a pro. I think kids need to learn that. If they start learning at a younger age, that's something I wish I had. Like, I wish I had people telling me how to take care of my body when I was 12 and 13. I just showed up and played baseball, but I didn't think about arm care. I didn't think about the possibility of if I put this work in now, where am I going to see myself at 16, 17, 18 when I'm looking to go to colleges when I could have been way ahead of the curve at 13? So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, is this something that, obviously you've just started your professional
Yeah, it's
baseball
just me.
career, but is this something though that you would want to do for, even post your playing career?
Coaching?
You want to yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think I could run a facility and own a facility and teach. I want to own I want to teach people how to move and how to be efficient pitchers because I know what the body's supposed to do and supposed to look like. I mean, I feel like I'm a pretty elite mover myself. So, mind you, I move differently than Spencer Strider. I move differently than Ben Joyce, right? I mean, everyone's going to move differently, but I think I'm able to kind of like see how someone should move in a way. And I think a lot of people have that skill, but don't know how to explain it. I just think I'm good at explaining it to kids in a way because like we're all professional pitchers. Like my roommate on the couch over here, he's a pro pitcher. He can look at a kid and tell him how to move to be a powerful pitcher. You know what I'm saying? We're in the top 1% of what people get to do. So like I'm just choosing to make my voice about it to where I can help. If that makes sense.
No, it definitely does. And would you say one day like you want to build this into almost like a competitor of like the drive line and threads, or is that not like what you would want to get into?
Kinda. No, no, that's what Maven. I'm sure Maven's kind of into that, right? Maven's growing. Maven's big. There's some cool stuff going on over there. Like I don't even want to get into all of that because I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I know that they're going to be on the scene, and I'm going to be there next year, no doubt, because there's the reason why those people are there, and that's all you got to say. It speaks for itself. The clients speak for themselves, right? The people that show up there. You got Hunter Strickland there. You got Buck Farver there, 10-year big leaguer, 12-year big leaguer Hunter Strickland. Those guys are trusting their PTs and their actions and their throwing programs. Like these are people that I want to look after and do what they're doing at their age. Like why would I not be there? I don't care what the price is going to be. I'm investing in myself. I only have a plan A. You're going to make plan A work. So you might as well go all in on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's so cool. And obviously, I talk to so many guys around like minor league baseball that, are kind of talking to me about, what things they like to do in their free time. And it's like some guys are, starting to buy property and be like, and do that and have like a real
Yeah.
estate, all that. And some guys are going into the training and everything. And it kind of sets you up for like a path once you're done playing baseball because Father Time's undefeated, as everybody knows. And it is kind of unique to hear of like, you're getting it started now while you're 24 years old to have this for, the next 20 plus years of your
Right.
life.
And what's even cooler about it is I wanted to get an actual platform where you can kind of host yourself as a coach, other people, because I feel like a lot of kids are having trouble finding clients and finding coaches, and even travel ball teams and high school teams are having trouble finding an outside experience to give them advice to their kids. I think if kids could put their platform on a website, right, and put their bio, what their experience is, what they're doing, they could make sales off that, and it could be where coaches and kids could have a platform to find players and coaches and meet in the middle. And I don't think there is anything like that yet. And I have a whole business proposal about it, but that's kind of on the other side of things. I just don't know how to target that yet. I think it'd be pretty cool though. So
Are we gonna see you on Shark Tank one day?
I don't know. That'd be cool. I'm not anything like that. I didn't have no. I had a minor in business, major in recreation and sport management. So I'm not. I don't have my degree yet. I'm not finished, but I definitely want to see my money work for me, and I want to do. I want to make money. I want to be successful. I want to work. So I think always working is good. If you're always busy and you're always doing something, it's okay.
Yeah, that actually kind of ties into a question I like to ask a lot of guys too.
Yeah,
And
you're good.
I know that you obviously had just talked about what you're doing now, but if you didn't play professional baseball right now, what do you think you would be doing with your life?
That's a crazy question because I don't know how to target that, man. This is all I've ever known, right? Other than since I was 3 years old, I didn't. I played every year until I was in high school. Until I didn't make my team. Parents got divorced. Family went through stuff. Whatever. I did. I didn't play. So the only thing I've ever known is baseball. I mean, it's the only reason why I went to school. I would have probably been in the military. My family's the military people. They were all in the Navy. I don't know. I really don't know. I would have done something to make money though. I wouldn't have been. I'm not. I mean, I can't just sit around and do nothing. That's just not how I am. So maybe I like the business side of things. I like business. It's cool, but I would have never been introduced to that and introduced to like golf, which is most associated with business. I would have never been introduced to that if it wasn't for baseball. So I don't
Okay.
know. That's a tough question. I think I'd be in the military, to be honest. I think that I would serve my country for sure because they, you don't have to be too crazy smart. They're going to protect you, and then you got great benefits, and you're going to get paid. So I don't know. Maybe.
I also come from a military family. My dad is still active duty,
No
all these
way.
years later, which is crazy.
Let's go.
The guy
Well,
can't get out of there.
he'll be thankful for that doing all those years. Trust me. And so will you too. You'll get benefits for the rest of your life too, I think. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, he just had a knee replacement like a year ago, and he's still kicking. Like he was only out for
Yeah.
like a month, and I'm like, dude, you're a
Awesome.
freaking machine out here. So yeah,
Yes.
he's still down at a base down in Texas over in El Paso. So he's doing his
Really, that's
thing.
where Ivan Melendez is from. That's my homie. One of my
Okay,
best friends, Ivan Melendez.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good spot out there. He's not minding
Yeah.
out there. It's
Yeah.
he's chilling, having a good time.
For sure.
Um, all right, I have a couple random questions here before I let you slide.
You're good.
You grew up in Tennessee, so I'm assuming you might be a sports fan from teams from Nashville or whatever it is. But who are some of your favorite athletes growing up? Doesn't have to be just baseball. Like who did you like?
Gosh, I'm instantly thinking of like John Smoltz, Chipper Jones, which is not even Nashville. You mentioned Nashville. That's Braves, but like, I think
Well,
that's
it's
my
Braves
era when I was
country.
growing up. When I was really young, I think they were playing. So those guys, I think um, Kobe Bryant is an awesome dude. I really like his vibe. I think he's got a lot of good. He's just he's an awesome dude. Rest in peace, Kobe. He was just an awesome athlete. He really was. Like no one, you can't say he wasn't. No one ever
Nope.
says Kobe was not a cool dude. I mean, I don't know. To be honest though, I didn't watch a lot of I didn't focus in on a lot of single athletes. I didn't have a crazy ton of social media access when I was younger either, so I didn't just idolize over one athlete. And I don't remember kind of doing that like a lot of other kids I guess did, but I guess Chris Johnson. I used to be a big fan of Chris Johnson, the running back for
Ooh,
the
CJ
Titans.
2K.
Yeah, I was a big fan of him for a long time because he was so dude. When he was before he got his contract, he was fast and he was like a top RB in the league. And then I remember it always fell off ever since he got paid. I was like, this is what happens when people get paid. They just don't, they just don't care anymore. I'm just like, okay, weird. Not me. I'm just kidding, but
All
that,
that
that is
money was
true.
weighing him down, man. All it
Yeah,
was
it was, wasn't it?
him pre-contract though. It's like that guy was out there just crossing
No,
ankles
no,
left
no.
and right.
Unreal. 2008, Chris Johnson was one of the best Chris Johnsons of all time.
That may have been one of the best running backs. If you watched him in person, I think I went to a game. I grew up in St. Louis. I think I went to a Rams Titans game in the dome, the old dome that had zero fans in it in St. Louis.
That's
And
crazy.
I watched that dude just go absolutely nuts on a 0-16 Rams team. And it was the best performance I've ever seen from a running back in my entire life. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Chris Johnson was a dog there for a while. I don't know what he's
Oh yeah.
doing now, but how
I don't
many
know.
years did he even play? I'm gonna look this up.
It couldn't have been long because I never hear he's up for like Hall of Fame or
What? He's
anything like
born on the
that.
same day as me. Yo, that's crazy. September. What are the odds of that? September
Is
23rd.
okay.
That's crazy. I don't know how
I'm
many
gonna
years.
guess he played for like 6 years. There's no
Yeah,
way he
he's
went
got
longer
he's
than
got
that.
money. He's chilling. He's good.
Yeah. And it probably doesn't have to buy a drink in the city of Nashville ever again in his life. So,
No, he won't. He will not ever. Him or his family.
all right, I have a final question here for you.
Okay.
Are you a food guy?
I am. I just got into cooking this off season. So
Okay, so I'm a big fan of cooking as well, and I'm also a big fan of finding those like hole in the wall pizza places and things like that.
oh
And
yeah,
now down in Texas, me and the wife always go and like try to find like nice Mexican restaurants or things like that.
for
But
sure.
we're going to the other end of this conversation here. I am going to need Mount Rushmore from you. So I need your top four restaurant chains. They can be fast food or sit down.
Mm. My brain's instantly jumping to so many things. But you don't want to blurt those out because it's like you got to make it's a Mount Rushmore. Oh gosh, man. I think always for me, and this is just a minor league staplehood,
I know
and
it's going to be.
it's not all of them. It's McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be on there. It's always going to be reliable for the most part. The fries may not be, but it's always going to show up. All right, on DoorDash. The way they do DoorDash is pretty well done. Okay,
Okay.
that's all I'm gonna. That's the best way to put it. The way they do DoorDash is well done. If
Okay.
that's all I gotta do. It's quick and easy. If you don't like the post game spread, quick and easy. Bam, you got it.
That's fair. Yeah.
McDonald's at your house or at your hotel before your bus even gets back, right? And then there you go. Quick calories. Number two, I think a sit down restaurant for me is gonna be like a good Fogo de Chao.
Oh, okay.
I love that place. Any a Brazilian steakhouse type place, that's going to be up there for me because I love red meat. I love steak. Italian, I got to go Italian. I think Chipotle is on there. Chipotle is going to be on there.
That's been the most popular. Yeah.
Yeah, Chipotle is on there for sure because I eat that every day. Just about. And I get
Yeah.
the 3-pointer. You know what that is?
I I've never heard of 3-pointer. I need to look
Now
this
you're
up
knowing.
apparently.
Yeah, so basically it's not a full bowl, so you pay less for the price. You just get rice and chicken or rice and steak, and they get an extra thing of steak, so you're getting a side of meat. It's actually cheaper than a full bowl. So, and
Interesting.
it's just and you actually it's better for you. It's just carbs and protein. So I mean, you're not getting. I mean, there's no veggies, I guess, but you're not getting any other bull crap for your body, I guess.
Okay.
So I
Interesting.
get
Never
that,
heard of
and I
that.
use my gift card for Christmas, and I'm good. It lasts me a long time. So Chipotle's up there. I got one more. I think all around Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is always going to be on there for me. I think that's going to be a good. That's a lot of crappy food I just listed, didn't I?
You had some crazy omissions that I've gotten this
Fogo de
off
Chao is
season.
great.
That is good, but you left off one of the staples that I've gotten from almost every guy.
Starbucks?
No, Texas Roadhouse.
Oh no! You know what is even crazier? Okay, that's a good point. And I've been talking to my trainers all week about this. So I've been to Texas Roadhouse the past 2 nights.
Okay,
Because it's
there we
right in our
go.
hotel. It's right in the parking lot. And I should have said that. You just don't think about that stuff sometimes, I guess. But take one of those off. I'd probably put instead of Chick-fil-A, I'd probably put Texas Roadhouse because we eat that at Amarillo, Texas, because you get a steak, mac and cheese, baked potato, and a beer and rolls for like $24. You don't find that anywhere else.
Nope.
You don't get that anywhere else. Not even no matter what the inflation's doing. And so I don't know what kind of meat they're doing. Like the other night I ate a sirloin with a baked potato, 4 rolls, and mac and cheese and a water for $21. $21 in Scottsdale, Arizona.
And
I
you
can't.
were full after that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I had 4 rolls. I mean, I was sitting there by myself, so I mean, I'm gonna eat, right? I don't. No
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
watching me. I don't care. I'm just kidding. So, but yeah, Texas Roadhouse is up there. That's fun. Shout out Billy Corcoran. That's his favorite spot.
Okay. Yeah, those are literally it's Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Texas Roadhouse. Those are like the three that I get every single time.
Yeah,
Of
I think
all
McDonald's
guys.
has got to be. It's so easy and quick. And
I
if
don't
you
know.
need quick
I've
food,
gotten I've gotten like Culver's. I got a lot of that. In and Out. So a lot of California guys always give me In and Out. I got like Whataburger with all the Texas guys. So I don't know.
Whataburger's, yeah, it's all right, but it gets tiring.
It's not that good.
It's like Sonic. It's like Sonic now.
It's Dairy Queen, in my opinion. The burger tastes just like a Dairy Queen burger. I'm probably gonna get shot saying that I live in Texas.
That's
but...
fine. That's
fine. All right. Well, I appreciate all the time that you gave me.
Dude, I appreciate you, man. I have nothing going on. I got another thing at 2:00, but that's perfect.
Yeah,
I'm glad I could give you the content.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking out for you once spring training rolls around here in less than a month and everything. But obviously, wishing you the best for 2025. But thank you.
Appreciate that. Maybe we can do a little check-in in like 3 or 4 months or so. That'd be sick.